Um, so, how are your quilts coming along? We're getting people joining us now. We have a few. We'll just chat here for a minute while we wait for more people to join us. Um, how are you coming in your progress? It's not a race. I'm not worried that you're staying up with the workshop. It will still be here for you in the for a little while anyway. It is going to be up for just a limited time, but you still have the workbook and everything if you've gotten the workbook. And if you haven't gotten the workbook, you can get it by following the link. I put it in the description below each video, so you can get access to that. So, oh, just a minute. Sorry. So you can get access to that and use it. Oh, let me turn off the volume on this so you're not getting the echo. Okay, sorry, I just like to have my daughters going so I know what you're seeing so that I make sure that... Oh, goodness. Let's switch that. I'm glad that I had my daughters going. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, see my computer. I'm real tech savvy here. So, anyway, as people join us, remember you can still get your workbook. It's in the description. And so just how are you coming in your project? Are you feeling good about how your quilt is progressing with your design plan, with the scraps that you've pulled? I don't know, have you got things cut out? Are you really, really ambitious and you've already got half square triangles going? Wherever you are in your progression, there's no right or wrong. You just get to. Oh yes, I'm glad you're having nice weather. It was a little chilly and rainy this last. It's starting to get warmer, but it has been a little chilly here. I'm glad you have nice weather, Duyader. So save this for when the weather's bad, because when the weather's good, there are lots of fun things to do outside. And currently, my son, his work brings him through this area. Like we're in the area that he works through with engineering with UP, Union Pacific. So he's here in town. He's at work and doing stuff, but he stops by and he will be here over the weekend. So we'll be doing fun things with him, and that will be great. So today what we're going to do is discuss making your piece blocks. So in my quilt, I just did 4 patches or simple variations of a 4 patch using just solid 4 blocks like this. And I'll show you. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Some of my 4 patches just kind of blend and they don't stand out and just kind of blend in with the other blocks. I did do some 4 patches, and this is where you'll just be able to play with value and see how things progress in your quilt and what you like. But as you play with value, you can make your 4 patch stand out and be more pronounced. I'm gonna turn this way. So you could do a chain like this through with your 4 patches, however you want to do that. So play with value. We talked about with the cross, how we divided that. So you would want to, you could either do like a rail fence. I only have blocks cut here, but you could do, I have squares cut, but you could do rectangles and do like a rail fence. So one side would be your cross and one side would be the background. Welcome, Jamie from Louisiana. You're caught up on all the videos. Good for you. You're starting to pull your fabric. Good. Have fun doing that. And make sure to share that with us on the Facebook group. So I don't remember who it was that had the idea of the cross, but you would want to do something like this because we divided and one side Here, let me see if I can find it here. Okay, I don't know if that's going to show up, and I don't want to take this all the way down. But we divided this so it would be in the center. So this side, so you would do scrappy squares in here of your cross, and then this would be your background fabric. So that's how you would do that there. Or you could do like rail fence, or however you used your method to do that. Then in addition to just the 4 blocks, I'm going to leave 2 of these up here because, oh goodness, some solicitor is calling me. Sorry, I'm not going to answer it because whenever they call on my home phone, that's all it is a solicitor. So we're going to leave these up here, and we're going to add us some half square triangles with them. So you could do something like this. And go through your quilt. You could have a block like that. You could flip it the other way. It kind of makes like a butterfly kind of thing going on. And where you have the lighter fabrics together, and it makes that hourglass kind of thing going on. So that's another option of how you can do a piece black. Good morning, Nancy. Oh, a sampler of small squares will look great. Let Adelaide know, did you do a lot of different fabrics in your fabric poll? I did a ton of different fabrics, but I like Scrappy. So do what makes you happy, because it's your quilt. So we can do lots more if we add more half square triangles. So here's the square and a square that I originally thought I was going to be putting in my quilt that you can do. You can also, like the pinwheel, let's see here. Yes, I know how to do a pinwheel. So there's a pinwheel block that you can do. You could do where it runs through. This is kind of how I did, if you've seen my quilt Sunshine on a Rainy Day, whoops, that's coming down. The rays that go out of the Scrappy colors and the gray are done this way. You can do flying geese. No. So flying geese. You could do a log cabin in the center of your heart, Thelma. That would be a fun one. Incorporate some strips. I would like to see how that turned out. So if you decide to do it, make sure you show us. Okay, you could do, let me think. I had another one. But you can just play. Oh, you can do your flying geese that come together and make an hourglass this way. I mean, we already did one hourglass block, but there's another variation. So have fun playing with your variations and how they work. Okay. So you're just going to go through with your design. You're going to make your smaller blocks. I have up here the heart, because someone mentioned that they wanted to do the heart, so I thought we could go over how we figure that out. So with the heart, there are half square triangles. And if you just wanted to do like the heart to stand out and or this echo heart to stand out and this heart in the center and the star to be the same color, then you'll want, I already counted them, but you just go through and count here how many, but there are 18 half square triangles if you did it that way. If you wanted to do it the way that we discussed when we first made this design plan 2 days ago, you will, like we talked about, having the star be yellow and this heart being orange and the inner heart being red. Then your outside half square triangles, those would be your yellow and red, and you would need 10 of those. And then your inside ones, you would just need 8 of those, and they would be the orange and red. However you decided to do that. So that's how you go through whatever your design plan is. You already counted up the squares. We did that yesterday. So now you'll just go through and figure out what all of your pieces are. Can you guys think of other, like, do you have questions on how to do different pieces? I did show you how to do the half square triangles yesterday. With these smaller, I'm going out of the camera if I go that way. With these smaller ones, we just half it. It's in your workbook what size, depending on if you are going to make it the size that I made, and then there are alternate sizes if you want to go bigger or smaller. So it gives you the instructions of what size strips to do. And yesterday, as I mentioned, if you do the 2 squares together and then to cut it, just go an inch bigger and then square it up so that it's nice and works well in your pattern. Those are just, I just lost my train of thought. So that's how you can do your half square triangles for the pieced part. But just watch the video yesterday, or I have inside my YouTube channel, I have videos on how to do both of the half square triangles that we have discussed here for this. So does anyone, like, what kind of blocks are you putting in yours? Do you need help figuring out how to piece those, or figuring out how many blocks you need? Feel free to ask some questions. Move this over here, and we'll just go over this one here. So this one was the flying geese that made the pinwheels. And you could either do this as flying geese. I do have a tutorial on this YouTube channel on how to do flying geese. Or you could do like we showed here with the half square triangles. To make a flying geese. It would be a Scrappy or flying geese, or you could put your 2 fabrics together. So you would just count up, like these are larger flying geese because this would be a half square triangle of one of your squares, and these are smaller ones like the ones that are in the piece blocks here with so the example that I have used here with the 6.5 inch blocks. Okay. So Susan's asking, what size do you cut the fabric to make a 4-inch square? Susan, are you wanting it to finish at 4 inches? So then it will be if you're just cutting the square and you're wanting it to be 4 inches square, you're going to cut a 4.5 inch square because you'll have a 1/2 inch around. But if you're doing the piece blocks here, you're going to use 2.5 inches. So it would be a 2.5 inch square or 2.5 inch with use the strips, or you'll do a 3-inch square with the 2 squares together, and so on either side of the diagonal line, and cut it apart so that you get the 2 half square triangles, and then you'll just square those up to 2.5. Does that make sense, Susan? Did I answer your question? If you need more clarification, let me know. Okay, so that's how we would do the pinwheel out of the flying geese. And I did want to go over, I did kind of mention, sorry, this is kind of fiddly. Woo! You can do this cross a little bit better now. Okay, so with the cross, we already talked about, here I'm going to, oh, I took my markers upstairs. I'll do it with this one. So right here would be a square. So with this one here, we would want to do this. If we're doing the 6.5, then this is 3.5 by 6.5, and then these are 2 3.5 inch squares. This would be your star fabric, and this one would be your star fabric, and this would be your cross fabric. So and then as you went down, we already discussed you could either do 2 squares and make it very scrappy, or do like a rail fence, and then they would be the 3.5 by 6.5. So does that make sense? Let's see, we have 6 containers of batiks. This is what Thelma is saying. Oh, yeah, batiks would be like great in this star. So are your batiks more of the darker? Just make sure that whatever you do, your background, you have a contrast. But I think it would look fabulous in the star, Thelma. That would be great. Yeah, so oh, good. Nancy used our little tip where she used a print that and pulled from that. I like that idea. I'm glad you used it. It's just a fun little trick, and you already know that you like the fabric, so that's great. Oh, you don't have to use it. It was just a fun experience then, Nancy. So, do you have any other questions? Is there any way that I can help you to progress your quilt, or help you in the so that with future quilts of picking out fabric or designing them? Let me know. Does everyone understand how to do the various pieces? Either the half square triangles, how to break up the squares. Okay, Jennifer, to get the workbook that goes with this, if you will look in the description of any of the previous videos, I will put it in with this one, but it's just not there yet. There will be a link to get your workbook, and if you just click on that link and sign up, it should be emailed to you. If it's not emailed to you, you will be enrolled in the the class, and you can go to the class with your password and information, and then you can download it there. So either way, you can get the handbook. Okay, Brenda is saying, I had so many creams for the lights. I had gone with fall colors. Oh, that will look beautiful. I can't wait to see your star in fall colors. Good. Nancy, yes, you can use that print in with the star along with the fabrics that you pulled around that print. It's perfectly fine. They all go together, so that will look great. So I'm glad that you found this method because, yeah, sometimes with the color wheel, we're kind of guessing. But if we pick a print that has lots of different fabrics in it, or different colors in it, we can just pull off of that because we already know that. Okay, yeah, just check your email, Jennifer. That's great. It should be there. So, there we go. Tomorrow we will talk about how to put it all together, and then I have some more information for all of you of additional ways you can use this and where you can get additional information if you have enjoyed this course to build upon the skills that you've gotten here. Okay, Jennifer, one more question. Jennifer, I did my background Scrappy. I like everything Scrappy. Why use one fabric when you can use a lot? That's kind of my philosophy. So you could use one. I've written the directions so that it kind of just makes sense to use a Scrappy background. You probably, but my background and this quilt was more, they're very subtle prints and low volume or backgrounds. So, but you just play and see what you like. Kind of audition things, lay things next to the fabrics that you already had. And just like I've mentioned, when you're doing the background, you want it to contrast with the points of your star so that your star does stand out. So just make sure that whatever you choose for your background, that it does have some contrast with whatever your star is, so that your star does shine. Okay, so I guess that's what we have for today, unless we have some more questions. Thank you for asking and responding. I hope you are enjoying this course and that you're learning a lot and that it's helping you. Like I said, tomorrow we'll discuss how to put it all together. Oh, a Scrappy gray background. Gray is my favorite background. I love it, Lynn. I love gray backgrounds. My whole bedroom is quilts with various gray backgrounds and bright scrappiness because I love them both. So I think that's a great idea, Lynn. It's okay if you have to buy more grays. You have to supplement now and then. Sometimes that multiplication of those scraps just doesn't happen in the right colors, so we have to supplement. I think they always are multiplying, but I have noticed there are certain colors that don't multiply as quickly as others. So, thanks again for participating. Let me know if you have any questions. We will see you tomorrow. Bye.